as a nice change of pace from my usual content, it's 11 p.m. and not 3 a.m. But I figured, I just got an Airsoft. I got some nice BB hits on my nose, a couple on my neck, a shit ton on my arms. So I'm pretty scuffed up, jacked my knees up real bad, couldn't go to work for the last 2 days. So I'm like, clearly I got fucked up on the Airsoft range. But I figured I'd review the gun that I ended up going with for my first time out. I'd only ever really owned Airsoft pistols, so I didn't really own any primaries, but I went with a MK-18 kind of knockoff from Lancer Tactical. This is a Gen 2. It's pretty solid construction, pretty sturdy. Got all polymer body, so it's I don't know if this is audible, but plastic construction. Basically, none of this is metal. The mag it came with was metal, though. This is a Lancer Tactical mid-cap mag, 130 round capacity, which is less than the 300 that it came with the high cap mag, but no wind, so I'm always going to prefer that over the high cap mag. But one big downside with this gun being all plastic is this really obnoxious issue that this one in particular has, but I know it's a common issue, that if I just do that a little bit of a tap, the dust cover just flops right down, which kind of sucks because that is not actually a bolt carrier assembly in there. That's the hop-up, which, if you're coming to this video for a review of it, I'm not shooting it in this review. Clearly, I'm inside. I mean, I could shoot right out the window here, but why? Hop-up basically takes that shot, and instead of jumping straight down, the hop-up will make the bullet go up a little bit as it goes out, which is, pretty good. Irrelevant though for this. I did not like the rear iron sight that this came with, so I bought a OHHLION, I think is how you pronounce that. Holographic optic. It's a 1X. This is a little cover for the optic, so if BBs come flying, they hit this, bounce off. They don't hit my glass expensive optic, which admittedly was only like $30, but it's $30 and I don't have to spend twice. Buy $10 for a plastic thing to put in front of it, much better. But, honestly, not bad. The construction's pretty sturdy. I took a fall, barrel jammed straight into the dirt. I scratched my arm pretty bad on the front sight post. I had a 45 degrees canted sight post on there that just shredded my arm. Gun went straight into the dirt, slammed the buttstock into my my lower rib. Hurts like a motherfucker, but this thing went on to play for another 4 hours. The battery included with this thing is shockingly not bad. That thing lasted literally all day before it pretty much finally crapped out after like 7 hours straight with like 10-minute breaks. Like, it was crazy. I had like no idea it was going to really last that long, so I had to buy a second battery just in case, because we're like, I don't know, it might be shit battery. You never know. Take the gamble you take. Some batteries are better than others, but I got a good lot battery, I guess. But I mean, I put like easily 7,000 rounds through it. This thing is a beast. I mean, if you give it some downtime, in between, skirmish matches, this thing will really hold up pretty well. But upsides, this thing is light. It's kind of heavy, but I mean, it's polymer, so it's not all metal, which it's got some heft, but it's pretty light. I can hold it out decent amount of time. This not too much strain. I can keep this pretty decent time. Adjustable stock, which is pretty good. My battery compartment here is a little annoying to access because it is right in the buttstock, so when you do need to replace it, it's two parts. There are Lancer Tacticals that come with a singular piece there to remove to get to your battery compartment, but this one is two, which is a little more annoying because you can end up dropping that piece, getting in dirt, get some dirt in there, it is what it is, just how this one came. But other than that, it came with two side plates to cover this, but I mean, it's not going to heat up. This isn't a real gun. The barrel's not going to heat up, so I just wrapped it for a much more comfortable grip. So just bang, bang, bang. This is much more comfortable. The provided foregrip that they give you is pretty solid. This it's not falling off, nothing's, you know, dropping off of it there, and, you know, it's, give that a good, I really hate that dust cover, but you can give it a good shake and it stays, more than I can ask, you know, generally speaking. Obviously it is not ambidextrous, you know, fire selector is only on this side, you know, right here, so if you're left-handed, that's a little annoying, which I am left-handed, so I have to, you know, my finger's not on the trigger, so I can't, you know, that's a little annoying. Got 3 modes, you got safe, semi, full. No burst, but I guess if you, you know, put your own MOSFET in here, you could do that if you wanted. M4 is a pretty good customizable platform. Obviously, you know, Lancer makes their own mags. They also make their own springs. I replaced the spring that came in this with a Lancer-made M90 spring. Got it down to my range's FPS and joule limits, which was super good. Did exactly what it was supposed to do. Other than that, I mean, I'm a little annoyed that this orange tip is kind of just permanently there. I'd have to really knock this thing apart just to get it off if I wanted to install a tracer kit on there. If it does come off, I couldn't find a single bit of documentation on how the hell to do it. So I'm sure there's documentation somewhere. I didn't see it included, and I didn't really look online too much because I didn't really care. But honestly, for the sub $200, you know, AR for Airsoft, you know, this is not a bad AEG to go with. I can't recommend it enough. Obviously, you know, there's other cheap ones out there on the market, but you know, this one's it's pretty good, pretty solid. I've had no issues with it. Repair's been super easy. It's been pretty decently accurate. I initially was shooting like, oh gosh, like 50 feet, and then I was starting to take shots with 32 gram BBs at like 40, you know, 50 feet, pushing it out to 60, 70, 80. I was making, you know, taking shots at 100 feet, and I mean, sure, you know, at 100 feet, you know, I'm gonna have to aim a little bit higher. Even with the hop up all the way cranked, you know, it's gonna drop off over distance. But I mean, that's bad, you know. It's good enough, I guess, is how I'd describe it. So, you know, obviously, the hop up is my one little grievance, which I think a lot of people have, is you can't. There's no lock. This is fake as shit. Doesn't do anything. So it doesn't lock to the rear. So to adjust the hop up, you kind of do have to hold it there, which not the worst thing in the world, but like it's really annoying. You shouldn't have to adjust it all that often, honestly, in my opinion. It should be a set it. That's the range you want to shoot at. Try to shoot at that range. The range I go to is a 20-foot minimum safety, so you can't shoot people within 20 feet. So just adjust it for over 20 feet, and you'll be fine. Obviously, for whatever range you go to, or however, you know, what distance you're comfortable with. Obviously, you know, I have a sight, not a, you know, scope, so I can't, you know, really get a better sight picture than, you know, what I can see with my own 2 eyes, but I can aim better. So, I mean, there's that. Obviously, I've done some customization. You know, I added some Velcro here for patches. You've got some range for, you know, adding things like tape. You got some picatinny. You can put whatever you want up there. You can get risers. You know, raise your optic a little bit so it's a little bit easier, so that you know, you can see into it a little bit better. My only real grievance with this one in particular is front sight post is part of the barrel. Can't really get rid of it. It's just kind of there. That's not that bad of a you know, a situation. It's still, you know, obviously you can adjust the position of it so you can get your windage and elevation down. I don't like the irons that this comes included with. I think they're kind of the front sight post is exactly what it should be, but the rear is not a fan. It's weird, just nasty. I don't know how to describe it. It's but you know, altogether, I think it's where I'm gonna cut it. Decent AEG. I think Lancer gets a lot of hate from the airsoft community that they don't deserve. I think that their eye protection is actually not half bad if you get the right ones. But that's just me. So I hope to be picking up more airsoft guns in the future, and I'll do short little overview of them then too. So deuces.